Dominik Szoboszlai at right back? Most people would have thought that was a bit of a mad one. A £60 million attacking midfielder with a wand of a right foot and a top draw vision, stuck in defence? Some would say that's a criminal waste of talent, a sign of a desperate gaffer improvising on the fly. A bonkers decision from Arne Slot, but the tactical switch to put Dom at right back, forced by the injuries to Jeremy Frimpong and Conor Bradley, has turned out to be a stroke of pure genius that's gone down a storm with the Red Faithful. Because by converting Szoboszlai into Trent Alexander-Arnold's unexpected replacement, Liverpool have pulled off the best signing of the season. In the old system, a fullback's role was unique. They weren't just defenders, they were the creative brains of the team, a partnership that whipped in laser-guided passes and crosses. Trent, in particular, was a proper playmaker from the flank, a world-class talent who could change the course of a game with a single long pass. With his departure to Real Madrid, Liverpool didn't just lose a player, they lost a crucial part of the system. But the change perfectly fit the philosophy Slot wanted to implement. He was all about controlled football, with more possession, but without losing that famous intensity. This new approach made the team less reliant on attacking fullbacks, and instead kept them in more conservative positions to ensure defensive solidity. The ball progression now came through the middle of the park with greater clarity and composure. Under this system, the fullbacks had to be dynamic, athletic, and tactically intelligent players who could not only bomb forward, but also create overloads in midfield. Slot wasn't looking for a copy of Trent, he was looking for a new type of player to fit his own puzzle. The answers as the season began were Jeremy Frimpong on the right and Milos Kerkez on the left. But in the first hour of the new campaign, a perfect storm erupted. Starting right back, Jeremy Frimpong picked up an injury in his first game. Conor Bradley, the young lad who was the obvious choice to step in, was also sidelined. In an instant, Liverpool were out of right backs. The solution was a no-brainer for the Dutch manager. Despite only playing a handful of times in the position, Dom is a highly adaptable player and Slot had already used him at right back during the pre-season. The gaffer knew exactly what he could get from the Hungarian in that position, and with Szoboszlai's tactical nous, the transition was a masterclass. Against Bournemouth, Szoboszlai's performance went down a storm, earning huge praise from the Red Faithful. Some even said he was a better full-back than Trent. Others joked that Real Madrid signed the wrong guy, and a few called him a monster for his dominant display. The game against Newcastle was a proper baptism of fire. Dom started at full-back, and with the match tied at 2-2, he made a clever decoy run in the box in the final minutes to allow youngster Rio Ngumoha to score the winner. That dummy earned him the Man of the Match award, and his moment of genius went straight into the season's highlight reel. But the Arsenal match was the moment he went from a good story to a bona fide superstar. The clash between the champions and the runners-up was a tactical masterpiece, with no space and two perfectly drilled sides. The game was heading for a drab 0-0 until the final minutes. A late foul gave Liverpool a free kick, and Dom stepped up and absolutely smashed it into the top corner to win the game 1-0. Arteta later admitted the game would be decided by a mistake or a moment of magic. While there was a defensive lapse, Szoboszlai's magical strike is already being talked about as one of the best free kicks in Premier League history. That banger didn't just win the match, it proved Slot's genius and earned the Reds' number 8 his second Man of the Match award in a row. But while Dom's attacking contributions have been pure gold, his defensive performance is the reason the team is unbeaten, the confidence is soaring, and he was nominated for Player of the Month. His defensive numbers are absolutely class. However, the most mind-blowing stat that justifies his success is the jump in his defensive duels. His duel success rate has gone from 43% to over 52% since moving into the full-back role. This is huge when you remember Trent's main weakness: defending in transition. Alexander-Arnold often got caught out of position and didn't have the pace to recover, but Szoboszlai has the legs to press aggressively, win his 1-versus-1 duels, and get back into a defensive shape, even against tricky wingers like Martinelli and Eberechi Eze. That balance of creativity and defensive solidity is the foundation of Slot's new look Liverpool. In some spells, his positioning sees the backline shift to a 3, with him tucking in as a second centre-back on the counter. It shows he still has that attacking swagger, but knows his defensive responsibilities. With Szoboszlai at full-back, Liverpool have found a solution in the midst of a crisis, allowed new players to settle in from the top of the table, and thrown a spanner in the works for opposition managers. But why does this genius move work so well? The answer is simple. Szoboszlai is the kind of player who can adapt with ease. As a fullback, he offers the exact profile Slot's system needs. He's not a traditional fullback, he's a hybrid player, a converted midfielder who can cheat the game and create a high level of dynamism. His midfielder's skill set is his biggest weapon in this new position. The first one is his tactical nous and mentality. Slot's masterstroke was his answer to a problem of balance. Instead of forking out for a new right-back in the transfer market, he trusted one of his most complete and disciplined players to get the job done. This, in Slot's own words, is a reflection of Szoboszlai's elite mentality, a player who understands what a Liverpool player should do, give everything, no matter the position. The gaffer pointed out that Dom accepted a role he's probably only played 2 or 3 times in his life, proving his incredible adaptability. The second one is his world-class passing and vision. Slot took him out of the crowded midfield and put him on the flank, where he has more time and space to use his vision. From there, he can drop deep to help build the play, or drive forward to create numerical advantages. Despite playing a bit further back, he's still one of the players with the most touches of the ball per game. Against Arsenal, he completed the second most passes on the pitch, just behind Van Dijk, and was top for passes into the final third. The third one is his engine and physical presence. The boundless energy that Van Dijk called a Rolls-Royce of a player is now being used to run the entire flank, supporting Salah, creating overloads and sprinting back at full speed to put in a tackle. He's a machine who presses high and covers enough ground to protect the space behind him. Both the numbers and his heat map confirm it. He's everywhere on the pitch but maintains a smart position that allows him to recover in time to contribute defensively. The fourth one is his mobility and dribbling. Szoboszlai's role as a hybrid fullback has created a fascinating paradox. While his position is technically defensive, Slot's system adapts to maximize his attacking prowess. When in possession, Szoboszlai doesn't just hug the touchline like a traditional fullback. Instead, he drifts into the half spaces to act as an extra midfielder. This puts him in areas where his natural ability to progress the ball and dictate the tempo is most effective. Slot's genius lies in not forcing the player to fit the role, but in modifying the role to exploit Szoboszlai's strengths. His relentless engine and hard-working mentality make him perfect for the new, more organised pressing structure, allowing him to press high and win the ball, a role he's naturally built for. This tactical signing, which didn't cost a penny, hasn't just plugged a gap, it's redefined the position. Because Szoboszlai's value doesn't come from being a new player. It comes from being the tactical solution that unlocked the potential of Slot's new system. In a summer of big changes, the club acquired a reinvented version of a player they already had. His transformation is, in essence, the most valuable investment of the season. Especially in a year where Salah will be off to the Africa Cup of Nations mid-season. One of the favourite options is for Dom to stay at fullback, with Frimpong playing as a winger ahead of him, maintaining the squad's balance. This reinvention, therefore, isn't just a temporary fix. It could be the central piece of a much bigger tactical puzzle. It's the variable that has redefined the team's balance and identity, solidifying the transition into the Slot era. His value is measured not in his transfer fee, but in his strategic impact, which makes him the most valuable signing of the season. But there's a domino effect to this whole thing. If Dom moves back to his usual spot, the midfield gets packed, and Slot has a new problem on his hands: who gets dropped? Some are already saying Alexis McAllister might be benched in favour of a Gravenberch and Szoboszlai partnership. Others are wondering if it was a good idea to sign Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike, and Alexander Isak in the same window, as it will be harder to fit so many top talents into the starting 11. But whatever Slot decides, one thing is certain. Szoboszlai, the guy many are calling the heir to Stevie G, is going to be a lock for the starting 11. Because the best signing Liverpool have made this season didn't cost a penny. Slot didn't buy a right-back. He reinvented a top midfielder and turned him into an unstoppable beast. Szoboszlai didn't just fill in for Alexander-Arnold and cover for Frimpong and Bradley's injuries. He made the role his own, giving the team a balance and a mentality it didn't have before. Now, with his tireless energy in defence and magical quality in attack, Slot has the central piece to get this season rolling. And if that wasn't enough, he's on course to earn a special place in Hungarian football history, alongside the legendary Magical Magyars of the 50s, the team that famously humiliated England 6-3 at Wembley. and icons like Ferenc Puskás, Sandor Kocsis, and Zoltán Csibor. For decades, the country has been crying out for a new national hero to lead them back to the big time. Now, in their captain Dominik Szoboszlai, Hungary has found that leader, a player carrying the magic of that legacy in every pass and every goal, ready to hoist the flag for his country once again. So, the question is, will Dom stay at right back or go back into the middle? And what will Slot do when he has a full squad to choose from? Let me know in the comments. And if you think Szoboszlai's story is a masterclass in adaptability, wait until you see what another genius, Enzo Maresca, did with a Chelsea squad everyone said was impossible to manage. He turned a team of talented individuals into an unstoppable machine. To see how Maresca transformed a rudderless club into a tactical giant, click on this video right here.